कैसे हो। मैं आज का और एक न्यू वीडियो के साथ और इसमें मैं रिव्यू करने वाला हूँ माइनक्राफ्ट अपडेट 25W31A को।
तो क्या नाचो मैं?
और मेरे पास इसका डायरेक्ट वर्जन नहीं है, इसलिए मैं इसको कुछ सिंपल फुटेजेस और वीडियो का मदद से समझाने की कोशिश करूँगा। तो बिना देरी करे वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो ये है कॉपर आर्मर, और कॉपर आर्मर लेदर आर्मर और आयरन आर्मर के एकदम बीच में रहेगा। इसका मतलब ये लेदर आर्मर से ज़्यादा और कॉपर आर्मर से कम प्रोटेक्शन दे पाएगा। कॉपर टूल वुडन टूल एंड आयरन टूल के बीच का रिश्ता होगा, मतलब कॉपर टूल वुडन टूल से कम और आयरन टूल से ज़्यादा तेज़ी से और कम ड्यूरेबिलिटी खा के माइन कर सकता है, जैसे कि हम वीडियो में
and begin to mine this stone, you will see that it mines it at a fairly low speed. But if I get the copper pickaxe and begin to mine the stone, you'll see that it mines it slightly faster than the stone pick. But then of course if I use the iron one, it mines it significantly faster than both the stone and the copper pickaxe. The same applies to the shovel. If I break it with stone, you'll see that it breaks the dirt, you know, kind of slow, it's not really that quick, but if I use copper, it's definitely faster than the stone, as you can see. But yeah, once again, iron is just better than copper. I mean, you can see it's breaking this dirt definitely quicker. I may as well show off the axe as well, because if we use the stone axe and break the wood, you will see that it doesn't really do it that quickly, but if I use a copper axe, you will see that it breaks the wood significantly faster. But again, I have to say it, the iron axe is just better than both of them in every way. So once again, sorry copper, you're just okay. Another key difference between the tools are the durability of each tool. So the stone pickaxe has 131 durability, whereas the copper pickaxe has 190. The iron pickaxe has 250, so the copper pickaxe officially fits in between these two tools, and I don't think it's too bad. Another interesting thing to note about the copper tools is that they have a better enchant rate than diamond tools. So if I put a copper pickaxe in the enchant table right here, you'll see that I have a very good chance to get a really good pickaxe right here. I mean, Fortune 3, Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3 is very good. But then if I go to put a diamond pickaxe in and try to enchant it again, it's Fortune 3 once again, but you'll see that I don't get the Unbreaking 3. So, you know, it is definitely a much better chance with copper, because if I do it again, we've got Efficiency 3, Silk Touch and Unbreaking 3, which once again is very good. It is worth noting, however, that the enchant rate for copper tools is slightly lower than iron tools. So if I look at this copper pickaxe, it's got Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3, which isn't too bad, but if I put the iron pickaxe in here and enchant it, you'll see I get Fortune 3, Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3, so the enchant rate is definitely a lot better. So yeah, the enchant rate is definitely still a bit better on iron tools as opposed to copper, but it still doesn't mean copper is a bad option. I mean, put it this way, I was able to get Fortune 3, Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3 for this copper pickaxe pretty easily. And since the copper pickaxe has a higher durability than the stone pickaxe like I mentioned before, and the fact that it mines faster than stone, makes it a really good option for collecting iron. I mean, I've got Fortune 3 and Efficiency 4 on this copper pickaxe, and you can see just how fast it actually breaks the iron. I mean, look at this, it's pretty good if you ask me, and if I break it, you'll see that I get about 26 iron out of it. So in conclusion, I think the copper tools are a decent substitute to the stone tools, but not really as good as iron, so I think they'd be quite a good thing to use early game in your world. Not only were we blessed with the copper tools in the copper
कॉपर गोलम के साथ हमेशा एक चेस्ट स्पॉन होगा, और इसका काम होगा चेस्ट से चीज़ों को कॉपर चेस्ट से नॉर्मल चेस्ट में खिसकाना, और इसको कैसे बनाना है वो भी आप देख ही लो।
So if I put down the block of copper and the pumpkin right here, you'll see that I've got a copper golem along with a copper chest. And then if I take the waxed block of copper and put down a pumpkin again, you'll see that I get another copper golem. Now it's worth noting that when you spawn the waxed variant of the copper golem, it's not actually waxed, you're just using a waxed block, but the copper golem texture looks exactly the same as the one if you were to spawn it with a block of copper. Do this chest and take out the exposed copper, the weathered copper and the oxidized copper, place them down like so, put a pumpkin on top of all of them, and you will see that I get oxidized variants of the copper golem. Even though you can spawn the oxidized variants of the copper golem, it's worth noting that copper golems themselves will naturally oxidize over time. This means after a certain amount of time, the unoxidized copper golem will turn into the exposed copper golem, which is right here. Then, later down the line, the exposed copper golem will become the weathered copper golem, which looks like this. Then finally, the weathered copper golem will turn into the oxidized variant of the copper golem, which looks like this tealed color right here.
कॉपर गोलम स्टैचू, ये आपको 4 तरह के देखने को मिल जाएंगे। अगर आप कॉपर गोलम से ज़्यादा काम कराओगे तो ये ऐसे बन जाएंगे और इसको आप अलग अलग शेप भी देख सकते हो और इसे माइनक्राफ्ट एक्स से मार के ठीक भी कर सकते हो।
The next new feature that has been added in the Copper update for Java Edition is the addition of these copper statues, which look like this. Now, there are 8 different variants of the copper statue. We've got the regular one right here, we've got the exposed copper golem statue, the weathered one, the oxidized one, and then we have the waxed variant. So we've got the waxed copper golem, the waxed exposed copper golem, the waxed weather copper golem statue, and finally the waxed oxidized copper golem statue. I'm sorry, can we just talk about how long some of the item names are? I mean, waxed exposed copper golem statue, that is literally such a mouthful. Now, what's really cool about these copper golem statues is that you can interact with them to change their poses. So if you right click on them, you can have up to 4 different poses for the copper golem, and I think these look really cool. I'm a big fan of these. So the 4 different poses is the sitting pose right here, and then you've got its walking animation pose, and then you've got the pose of it taking something out of a chest, I think it is, and then you've got the pose of it just standing still. Now, in order to obtain one of these copper golem statues, you need to wait for a regular copper golem mob to turn into an oxidized copper golem, and then eventually after some time, this oxidized copper golem will turn into a statue.
2 hours later.
As you can see, after some time, this oxidized copper golem has turned into a oxidized copper statue, and you can now interact with it and change all of the poses with it, as you can see. Now, if you want to change the oxidization state of the copper golem statue, then all you need to do is go up to this oxidized copper golem statue with an axe and right click on it, and as you can see, it's now become a weathered copper golem statue. You can then right click on it again to turn it into an exposed copper golem, and then again to turn it into a regular copper golem, and then you can right click on it a final time to turn it back into a regular copper golem mob. So as you can see, this guy is alive and well again. He's walking around chilling, and yeah, it's actually pretty cool that you can turn them back into regular copper golem.
ऑक्सीडाइज्ड कॉपर रॉड, आपने नॉर्मल कॉपर रॉड देखी होंगे, लेकिन इस बार का जो अपडेट है 1.21.9 इसमें ऑक्सीडाइज कॉपर रॉड आने वाला है, जिसका मतलब ये ऑक्सीडाइज होगा धीरे धीरे। उसके बाद आपको इसको एक्स मार के फिर से ठीक करना होगा, मतलब डीऑक्सीडाइज करना पड़ेगा। वीडियो इतनी ही थी। आपको क्या लगा कि कॉपर रॉड के लिए भी कोई अलग वीडियो आएगी? हाँ, मैंने डालने की कोशिश की थी, लेकिन मैंने जिस वीडियो से आपको ये सब दिखाया ना, उस वीडियो में कॉपर रॉड का कोई चीज़ ही मतलब उल्लेख ही नहीं था कॉपर रॉड। इसलिए मैंने सोचा वीडियो की एंड कर दूँ और इसका पार्ट 2 बना दूँ। तो जल्दी आएगा पार्ट 2, उसके लिए लाइक और सब्सक्राइब कर देना।
कोई तरीका है भीख मांगने का?